Welcome. I'm Julio Rivera. I'm the provost of the college, and I want to welcome trustees, President Campbell, Mrs. Campbell, honored guests, alumni, and most particularly, the new alumni of Carthage College. Tonight is a very special night and a special weekend where we begin to celebrate your next chapter in your lives as members of the Carthage family. And so we'll begin tonight, and we will continue through Sunday, the celebration. And at this time, I'd like to ask Pastor Ross Larson, Dean of Siebert Chapel, to come up and give the invocation.
The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Blessed are you, Lord God, creator of the universe. You created a place in which we can live our lives. You created our bodies, our minds, our spirit. Today we gather to celebrate all that you have created, for we are not only citizens of the universe, we are not only members of families, we are not only individuals with unique appearance, traits, abilities. We are Carthaginians together. That's who we are. That's the fact we celebrate here this evening. Guiding us in body, mind, and spirit to become Carthaginians, God has also given us our creative gifts. Now we ask, as we recognize one another for who we are, that God's blessing will rest on each of us and upon all of us together. Amen. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. I'm Ed Montanaro. I'm the director of the Target Language Expert Program and the Department of Modern Languages. In 1989, the Target Language Expert Program was created by the late Irene Kramer. Since that time, 121 young scholars from Asia, Europe, and Latin America have accepted our invitation to come to Carthage to pursue graduate studies and teach their native languages. They have shared their languages and cultures in and out of the classroom and have thereby enriched the academic experience of our students. At this time, we would like to formally recognize their many contributions to the college and to present each of them with a certificate of appreciation. When I call your name, would you please come forward and receive your certificate from President Campbell? Please remain at the front after receiving your certificates, and would the audience please hold your applause until after the TLEs have received their certificates. This year's Target Language experts are Marta Agüero Guerra from Spain, Clémence Briand from France, John Cuesta Medina from Colombia, Ivan Espinosa Orozco from Colombia, Pilar Fernandez Pedraza, also from Colombia, Alejandra Jimenez Marvan from Mexico, Ramona Kreis from Germany, Takuma Miura from Japan, and Jun Takahashi, also from Japan. I should note that there are two other TLEs who served this year but who are unable to be here today, and they are Julie Bartholomé from France and Liu Baofeng from China. Thank you.
Deborah Waller was elected chairman of the Board of Trustees at Carthage 1 year ago this weekend. Mrs. Waller joined Jockey International in 1982 and rose steadily through the ranks of this family-owned company. She succeeded her mother as chairman and chief executive officer 10 years ago. Mrs. Waller became a trustee in 1999, following her mother's tradition of generous support for the college. She graduated from Carthage in 1978 with a bachelor's degree in elementary and special education. She is a director of the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption and has launched a corporate citizenship initiative at Jockey that provides funding, employee support for volunteers, and donations to support and raise awareness of post-adoption services. Please welcome Mrs. Deborah Waller.
Thank you, Julio. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the Carthage alumni community on behalf of the Board of Trustees. You are members of an especially significant class in the history of the college. 50 years ago, Carthage established its campus in Kenosha after more than a century in Illinois. You are also members of the 25th class to graduate from Carthage during the Campbell presidency. You are also the final students who will receive your diplomas from Mr. Campbell, and his wife Barbara will begin their retirement in August. Remember this weekend. It is a marker of all that you have accomplished during your years of hard work at Carthage. It is a call to serve your family, your community, and your college in the many years ahead. When President Campbell hands you your diploma on Sunday, it represents an acknowledgement that you have mastered the basic skills necessary to succeed in the larger world. What you may not realize, but most certainly will grow to appreciate, is that your Carthage education has prepared you to succeed throughout your life. You have learned how to ask the difficult questions that leaders in any setting must have the intelligence and courage to ask. You have learned to see things from other perspectives. You have learned to work on a team, both as a follower and a leader. You have gained appreciation for the challenge and responsibility of contributing knowledge to your chosen profession. These lessons will serve you well as you change jobs, change careers, change communities, and build your life. Friendships that you have formed here will endure for many years. That's one of the things that is so special about the Carthage community. We support one another on campus and in the larger world. Along with the great privileges accorded Carthage alumni comes the implicit responsibility to help those that follow. Be glad for both. In the names on the buildings in which you've lived, studied, and competed are people who, through hard work and good luck, made substantial gifts to Carthage. These high achievers also funded professorships and scholarships. Most of these people supported Carthage students in small ways for many years before giving big gifts. In fact, thousands of alumni are giving small gifts today. As you travel your journey, remember that all you accomplished during your time here was made a little easier, a little nicer, and a little more satisfying by others. Remember the challenges you conquered here, how you grow, and how you helped others, how they helped you. Remember Carthage. This community is forever yours, for you are now among the thousands of alumni and are making it stronger. Congratulations to the class of 2012. Tom Kelly, president of the Carthage Alumni Association, now will present a special alumni recognition.
Thank you, Deborah. At this time, I'll ask that President Campbell please join me at the podium, and Barbara Campbell, if you would join me at the podium as well. President Campbell has served Carthage College for 25 years, and during that time he has been a tireless leader, passionate visionary, and heartfelt advocate for the college. Under his direction and leadership, Carthage has seen an incredible transformation, resulting in its emergence as a leading liberal arts institution. Through his intelligence, curiosity, commitment to teaching, leadership, and humanity, he has positioned the college to reach higher than anyone could have imagined 25 years ago, and President Campbell would be the first to admit that he would not have been able to accomplish as much as he did if it wasn't for the love and support of his wife, Barbara, Carthage's First Lady. During the Campbell era, the college has excelled in virtually every facet of performance. Full-time enrollment has tripled to over 2,500 full-time students, and total enrollment now exceeds 3,400 students. All the while, the college has become increasingly selective, as evidenced by steadily increasing mean test scores and high school grade point averages for incoming freshmen. Carthage has seen an astounding 7,200 applications for the freshman class entering in September 2012, a growth factor of 10 times greater than the number of applications for the freshman class entering in September 1987. Carthage has undergone intensive national searches for faculty, which have resulted in nearly doubling the faculty in the last 25 years, while also developing an impressive teaching-oriented faculty holding PhDs from major graduate programs across the country, representative of the best in their field. In the past decade, the college has invested more than $130 million in new construction and major renovations, and during the Campbell era, the endowment has grown by a factor of 5 to over $52 million. Shortly after President Campbell was elected the 18th president of Carthage in 1987, he visited Dr. Harold Lentz, who most of you know served as president of Carthage from 1952 to 1976. During his visit, President Campbell asked Dr. Lentz, "What was the secret to your success?" Dr. Lentz replied, "Carthage needed someone to love it, and so I did." That advice took root in President Campbell's heart, and he fell in love with Carthage. More important than the impressive numbers, Barbara and President Campbell have loved Carthage and have loved showing off the students, the faculty, and the campus to the world. By doing so, they have created lifelong friends of the college and have built its reputation. For the past 25 years, Barbara and President Campbell have opened their hearts and the doors of the Trinity House to so many students, faculty, staff, community members, alumni, and friends of the college, and allowed us to be part of their family. They have been role models, counselors, heroes, and friends to countless people. Because of that, Barbara and President Campbell, you have enriched the lives of so many people who have had the pleasure of knowing you. Upon the recommendation of the Carthage Alumni Association, the college recognizes Mrs. Barbara Campbell and President F. Gregory Campbell as honorary alumni and members of the class of 2012. President Campbell and Barbara, please accept this crystal as a very small token of our sincerest appreciation for all you've done for Carthage. Thank you again.
Choice
It is my pleasure to introduce this year's faculty speaker, Stephen Udry. Mr. Udry is the chair of the history department, and he came to Carthage in the year 2000. Tonight, he will speak on behalf of the Carthage faculty. Please welcome Mr. Stephen Udry.
Thank you, Provost. Before I begin, I would like to note that I will be breaking tradition a little bit here and will not be including lyrics from popular songs in my talk. However, I will reference one song from 1977, Good Luck. You're about to, or over the past few months, have been making some very serious decisions. You're at one of the most pivotal moments in your life. You've moved from home to college, and now you're moving from college out into the world, where almost everything you do will be your own decision, unhampered by parents or teachers. What an amazing time! What an amazing sense of freedom you must feel coursing through your body now. But wait, let's not pop the champagne corks yet. Think back a week ago. Final papers, final projects, final exams, waiting for grades, waiting to hear about jobs, things getting just a little bit crazy. You might have been feeling quite differently. You might have felt that everything was stacked against you, that everything was out of your control. Big things and small things alike. Stress made it tough to even decide what you wanted to eat, what to drink, let alone what to write about or which project you should finish first. Well, it just may be that things really are not in your control. It may be that you don't really have much control over yourself and what you do. Indeed, neuroscientists, who I don't have time to talk about today, and behavioral economists, who I can't resist talking about today, tell us that we have, in fact, very little conscious control over our decisions and how we act on them. Now, this may sound absurd, but this is actually nothing new. Mankind has questioned our ability to guide our lives ever since the earliest thinkers walked this earth. Western theologians in the Middle Ages wrestled with this idea of free will and had to find a way to reconcile human actions and God's presumed foreknowledge of all events. After the scientific revolution of the 17th century, philosophers grappled with what the existence of the invariable laws of nature meant in terms of control of events. And in the 20th century, Freud's theory of unconscious drives questioned whether what we thought was motivating and controlling our actions really was what was motivating our actions. Today, many groups tell us that we don't have much control, including behavioral economists and the marketers who use their ideas, who seem to revel in their ability to show us how little control we have over our decisions. iPad, anyone? One of my favorite studies done by behavioral economists is about patio tables. Yep, patio tables. I think we come back to them, don't we? Suppose you are looking at patio tables, and the store has 4 models priced at $140, $170, $200, and $500. The chances are good that you'll buy the ones that are either $170 or $200. But the research shows that if the store owners want to sell more of the $500 tables, what do? They add a $900 table. Now, you are more likely to see the $500 table as more reasonable. The $200 table is still the same and will function the same, but suddenly the $500 table is more appealing. Many more studies exist, and not all of these studies are about purchasing. In fact, an interesting one came out recently that points out how little control we have over our behavior. This study might fall into the category of what? We needed scientists to tell us this? The study was this. This study showed that men are less able to function rationally in the presence of an attractive woman. So if you ever notice that President Campbell isn't making his usual sense, it must be because Barbara is nearby. You can pay me later, Greg. Okay. All right. Good. So we have to admit that we're not always in control, particularly if we are men. That leaves us in a tough position, doesn't it? You are at a crucial moment in your lives. You will be making some pretty significant decisions. How do you take control? I believe we can wriggle our way free of manipulations and coercions. We can refuse to heed the call to need a patio table. We can refuse to buy into their siren song of consumerism. But that's a small point. The larger point is, it may be that our decision to purchase A over B has been manipulated and thus is not really ours to make. But I believe that it is the context that these decisions are made in which matters. That is the place where you must take full control. By context, what I mean is a moral code, or a set of rules, or a guiding philosophy, or even a goal. I just gave you the example of rejecting consumerism. If you are going to take control, you are going to need a strong moral code or set of rules to help you through. Without such a structure by which to guide your life, keeping your aim true, you will be at the mercy of forces stronger and more determined than you. Like this piece of paper, that will not come apart. While this is relevant always, how and what does it mean to you now, Friday night, ready for the big party? The wine is cooled, our dates are hot. Oops, sorry. What does this have to do with Allison in her party dress and Elvis in his shiny shirt and tie? Why does this matter? It matters because you are on your own now. You will be making your path. So where does that leave us? Carthage has tried to provide you with a place to grow, a place to help you develop a strong moral code. We have given you an environment in which you could test your guiding philosophy and refine it. What do you now do with it? Easy. Go out on a limb. Push beyond what you think is your limit. Don't let fear or worry push you towards the easy, the obvious, the settling. Challenge yourself, challenge your fears. The rewards you will reap are so much greater than the fears and worries that hold you back. What you discover about yourself, both the good and the bad, will make you a stronger and better person. I know this is true because it happened to me. I know the fear. The second most fearful moment of my life was walking down a jetway onto the plane that would take me away from everything I knew, that would take me away from everything that I loved, everything that I was comfortable with. My heart was pounding so loudly I thought my ears would burst. My legs had turned to rubber. I had to stop and lean against the jetway wall. As the doubts and the fears surged through my body. But I took a deep breath and boarded the plane to China. My life would never be the same. I also know this is true because I've seen it in dozens of Carthage students just like you. Whether it was moving to Japan to teach English or to Washington, D.C. for that internship that will help save the world, those who came before you, those who sat in those exact seats, have done it. You can too. Home isn't going anywhere. You should. Your life will never be the same. Congratulations, class of 2012, and good luck to the best of you.
Now I am pleased to introduce this year's student speaker, Joshua Baker. Mr. Baker is graduating with a major in political science and public relations. Josh came to Carthage from Crest Hill, Illinois, and he has served as student government president for the past 2 years. Before being elected president, he was a student senator for 2 years and chaired the Student Organizations and Student Affairs Committee. Josh is the Assistant Hall Director at Johnson Hall and a member of the Resident Life Council. He was president of the Wisconsin United Residence Hall Association, which represents students living on 20 Wisconsin campuses, and he is a member of Tau Delta Psi. After graduation, he will pursue a master's degree in college student personnel at Western Illinois University. Please welcome Joshua Baker.
Well, thank you. So actually, instead of giving a speech, I thought we'd just go eat. So, not. So welcome and thank you all for coming. I know you are probably wondering why I'm up here delivering this speech, and you have no one but yourselves to blame. I mean, you have people like Terry Werman, who you could have selected. Instead, you have opted for the slightly more awkward, less muscular gay version. To each their own. Standing here marks the close of our brief 4 years here at Carthage, and I know we've been thinking the exact same things. It's like, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my... Never mind, we'll move on. When we started here as freshmen, things were much different. Carthage has indeed changed from when we started 4 years ago to where we are today. There are some things that we have experienced that no other future Carthage class will ever experience, such as long lines at Subcon, breadsticks at Pizza Hut, trays in the cafeteria, pasta every day in the caf, the lingering promise of a student union. Anyone remember having to swipe for anything? Being the Redmen and not the illustrious red spacemen. Having that extra space just deters too much. President Campbell, no other class will experience President Campbell like we have. So that's kind of really interesting. I want to do a little experiment. Every year at New Student Convocation, President Campbell asks the male and females to stand up. I'm just curious to know, could you stand up right now if you've met your significant other at Carthage in general? So that theory is, oh, there we go. Good. Looks like about 99% of us found our significant others here at Carthage. And then the final thing that no other class will ever experience, 10 swipe Sundays. Yeah, it is sad indeed. So I'm gonna bring us back kind of our 4 years. Freshman year, for those of you who remember, who were not transfers, the motto was carry the fire, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us thought was just the deranged mascot who we had no idea who it was, but he did bear a striking resemblance to the incredible bad guy with fire on his head. And I also remember freshman year, I was tricked by the upperclassmen that sometimes the swiping system at the residence halls malfunctioned and took your meal plan. So I would sneakily creep behind people and make sure that they used their meal plan instead of mine. I'm not sure how many other people fell for that, but I definitely did. Then we move into sophomore year. For those of you who don't remember, instead, the motto was seeking truth, building strength, inspiring service together. These 7 words are very powerful. Let's imagine for a second if we lived our college lives trying to live up to these words, instead of seeing how many Four Locos we could chug before we pass out. We would be great individuals prepared for society if we would have done that. Junior year showed that Carthage has gone weak. In the 25 years before we came, Carthage never had a snow day. We changed that. There's this interesting thing that says, the Mayans predicted the world ending in 2012, and that's actually not accurate. There's a whole study about it would have ended a while ago. But what they actually predicted was that there would be 0 job prospects in 2012, which fortunately we'll all be able to experience together. And then for those of you who remember, the motto junior year was Lives Worth Living, not Live Your Life by Rihanna and T.I., which I always heard a lot of people saying over and over, reading the banners on tours, people asking, is that Rihanna song? I'd be like, yeah, that's that Rihanna song. And then senior year, we started the year with a proclamation of New Horizons, which is only incredibly relatable to where we are right now and where we're going. This year is supposed to be the epitome of our academic experience here at Carthage, a recap of all the wonderful memories and friends we've made over the years, a time to be ambitious and seek graduate school, employment, and a 401k plan. But instead, some of us succumb to the college life known to be the hangover before adulthood. If that is how you spent your college career, you did something wrong. You also did something right, apparently, because you're about to graduate. So there is that. And for that, I sincerely congratulate all of you. And as many of you may know, I don't always give speeches, but when I do, I rant about the things I learned at college. And some things I learned at college were the definition of YOLO, how to Dougie, that the main difference between high school and college was that you no longer cited Wikipedia, but the sources that Wikipedia used. That the recommended 8 hours of sleep is only a recommendation. Geese are hateful. Pasta sucks. That if you are lazy enough, this is a true goal that we have accomplished as a class, actually the entire student body. If you are lazy enough, you can actually get the college to succumb to the laziness of your endeavor to the Oaks, and they'll put sidewalks up instead. So you just make your own paths, and the college will adapt to make these paths to follow your mood. Rock climbing. Actually, I never learned to rock climb. I've always meant to, I never got around to it, so that one's stricken off the list. Carthage does indeed have beautiful weather, just happens to be when classes aren't in session. And that the journey through college is a very unique one of self-discovery. Coming in as freshmen, we all come in confused. We think we know what we're going to do. We come in with the idea of a major, of what we think we're going to have, when in reality, most of us switch it twice, 3 times, 6 times. I don't know. Someone has a record in here, and it might be me, because I'm pretty sure I did it 6 times. So we were supposed to be confused. A lot of people didn't know what to do then. A lot of us don't know what to do now. Freshman year, I remember I still dated women freshman year, so there was that happened back then. But as we move forward, I will use the pop songs and the lyrics from Professor Udry. He did not grace us with enough pop culture references for my liking, and pop culture teaches us a great thing. Just listen to these endless words and endless pieces of advice from those we idolize in today's society. Remember that when it seems like everything is against you, the universe will never be the same, and it is in fact glad that you came. Not. When you suffer a breakup, follow Adele's advice and date someone who is exactly the same. That will probably work out for you. If you're getting stressed out, kind of worried, Lady Gaga reminds us it's going to be okay, da-da-do-do, just dance. So there's your answer. If you are going to get too stressed out, have no idea what to do, just start dancing. It'll probably get you a job. Maybe not in the career you wanted, but it might help out. It's really great to be here because we started our freshman years, for those of us who were here all 4 years, with Louise Paskey, and we are graduating with President Campbell, except he's graduating as a different type of senior. So we have that going as well. So this class, the class of 2012, has been doing the impossible since freshman year. If you remember back to 2004, we elected a black president, which was thought to be impossible. And now we're doing another impossible feat. We are going to graduate. It's a feat that much of us anticipated, but we never dreamt that the day would actually come. While this may not be the type of Friday night that Katy Perry describes to us, it is our last one here as students at Carthage. So let's enjoy each other's company, have a great dinner, and finish our collegiate career without having to worry about those pictures from last night ending up online. And tonight, we are young, so let's set the world on fire. Congratulations and thank you all and best of luck for your future careers. Thank you. So, for many years, the graduating students at Carthage symbolically passed this key of knowledge to their successors. I'm supposed to hold it up for you all to see. Beginning in 1927, the senior representative tied a ribbon adorned with the class year onto the wooden key and presented it to a junior class representative during the annual convocation. Will Andrea Winbigler, class of 2013, please join me at the lectern? As representative for the class of 2012, there's the ribbon. As representative for the class of 2012, I now attach our ribbon. They're both our ribbons. And the history and the knowledge and the heritage it represents to the representative of the class of 2013, Andrea Winbigler. There's no rehearsal for this. This is not part of my transferable job skills. Thank you. Would President Campbell please join me? President Campbell, on behalf of the class of 2012, it is also my pleasure to announce to you the class of 2012 gift. Furniture on the patio outside the dining commons. It's going to be great. I am proud to report that more than 93% of the class of 2012 contributed to this gift. The accomplishment was possible only through the dedicated efforts of the class of 2012 gift committee. Will everyone who participated on the committee please stand? Let us recognize these leaders with a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Josh, I think. At least for sitting down, that's all right. And I may be a different kind of senior, but you better not say that to Barbara, I can tell you that. Whom I would like to join me right now, please. About 2 hours ago, we had an experience that is utterly memorable and will be one of the high points of our lives. It was a complete surprise. We were told there was going to be a small event to say thanks to us from some of the officers and a couple of faculty and what have you, just very private and informal. So we came over unsuspecting, we really believe that, and up here behind, in the upper room behind the organ here, the Carthage Choir, the Wind Orchestra, and professors and officers and Mr. Vigneri all were there. And we heard for the first time the music that you heard today. It was something we knew nothing about, and it had started already apparently last autumn or so when people here decided to commission a work in honor of our retirement now at this commencement or soon thereafter. And who better to turn to than Tom Vigneri, a member of the Carthage class of 1983, who in fact composed a special piece of music for the concert that was part of our inauguration back in 1987. And they returned to him, and what you heard was the result of his thought and work over the past number of months. We were utterly surprised and had to work to maintain our composure. So Tom, thank you for the beautiful music. Thank you also for arranging for the sonnet, the beautiful words in the sonnet written especially for the music. Thanks to Peter Dene and Elaine Walton, who I think were conspirators in chief in part. Thanks to Eduardo Garcia Novelli and Jim Ripley for leading the way. And most of all, thanks to the members of the Carthage Choir and the Wind Orchestra. We're most grateful, and you've given us a memory we will never, never lose. Now, let me say thanks to our fellow members of the class of 2012 now for a wonderful gift to the college. A 93% participation rate is tremendous. I just did some quick math in my head. Barbara and I, now that we're members of your class, we will each give a gift, and that raises the percentage by 0.3%. So we join you. Nothing honors us more than to be members, honorary members of your class and graduates of Carthage. Now, whenever they use our name in Carthage publications, they're going to have to put a 12 after it and put an on then, because we didn't really earn our degree, but still nice to have it. That's what honorary means. If you'll do some quick math 20 years from now and say 12 from 30, or let's say 32, 12 from 30 is 20, and he must have been about 22 when he graduated, so we're about 42 20 years from now, just like you. That's the way you determine age, right? But our lives have been delightful these last 25 years. Of course, there are ups and downs and all those things in any given day. But overall, it's been a delightful experience for us. The classes before you and you have kept us young, or at least youthful in outlook. I know things I wouldn't dream of if it weren't for hanging out on a college campus. Barbara, I try to shield some of those from Barbara, but then, you know, she probably knows more than I know. In any case, it has been a delightful experience for us, and we're most greatly honored to be fellow members of your graduating class. Thank you. And now back to the fellow who started it all, Mr. Tom Kelly. He's been at the mic, but let me introduce him. He is a member of the class of 1999, which it just occurred to me means that he graduated about halfway through our presidency here. Tom is now the Chief Financial Officer, Vice President, and CFO of United Hospital System here in Kenosha. After playing football at Carthage and graduating in '99, he earned an MBA in the Loyola University Chicago Executive Program here on campus, and then more recently, a year or so ago, a law degree at John Marshall Law School in Chicago. He's an illustrious alum of whom we're very proud. He is president of the Alumni Council, and he's our final speaker today. Tom.
Thank you, President Campbell. Graduating class of 2012, as president of the Carthage Alumni Association, I would like to congratulate you on your impending graduation. What an outstanding achievement. For many of you, this has most likely been one of, if not the, most significant accomplishment in your young lives. It is my sincerest hope that as each of you continue your journey through life, that you will earn the opportunity to celebrate many more equally impressive accomplishments. Additionally, I want to personally welcome you as the newest members of the Carthage College Alumni Association, which now includes more than 19,000 Carthage graduates. Although it certainly doesn't feel like it, it has been 13 years since I sat where you are now, preparing for the next phase of my life, as you are today. During my time at Carthage, and the 13 years since my graduation, I have found that three overarching, fairly straightforward concepts have guided me in my pursuit of success, and I hope that perhaps they might provide you some guidance as you move into the next phase of your life. Number one, work hard in everything you do. Hard work pays off, and it's the best way to make up for a lack of experience. Number two, don't be afraid to fail. Learn from your failures and go on to the next challenge. Remember that Michael Jordan once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the final game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over in my life, and that is why I succeed." Number three, commit yourselves to becoming lifelong learners. Remember that Louis Pasteur, who we all know made major contributions in the field of chemistry and medicine, and is famous for his germ theory and for the development of vaccines, was considered just a mediocre student in college. In fact, he ranked 15th out of 22 students in his undergraduate chemistry class. Not willing to allow that to define him, Louis Pasteur committed himself to becoming a lifelong learner who continuously honed his craft, and each day he made a point to go to bed a little wiser than he was when he woke. It is because he committed himself to becoming a lifelong learner that he was able to become so successful. No different than Louis Pasteur, your learning should not end when you walk across that platform on Sunday. During your career at Carthage, your professors have imparted on you the wisdom and knowledge to educate yourselves through the use of critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and independent research. Irrespective of the fact that you have just completed coursework from a top-tier college and you'll be graduating on Sunday, I regret to inform you that without a commitment to lifelong learning, you are not going to become successful merely based on what you already know. And so I challenge you, the graduating class of 2012, to work hard in everything you do, to accept the fact that failure is inevitable. However, the importance of such failure is to learn from it and grow from it. And I challenge you to commit yourselves to becoming lifelong learners. I challenge you to go to bed every night a little bit smarter than you were that morning. I am certain that this graduating class will have many more impressive accomplishments over the coming years, and I'm looking forward to reading about them in the Carthaginian. On behalf of the Alumni Council, welcome to Carthage College Alumni Association.
You are all invited to the promenade dinner in the library at the end of the convocation. I ask that you remain in the chapel until after the recessional. You may enter the library through the main doors, or you may enter through the tents located north of the building. Since we're all headed to the library, please... I like that. We do that again? No. Since we're all headed to the library, please take your time. There's plenty of amazing food and no need to hurry. Once again, it is my pleasure to introduce Pastor Ross Larson, Dean of Siebert Chapel, for the benediction.
I invite you to rise, please, and join with me in this prayer. As we leave to celebrate, we ask God Almighty blessing on our food and fellowship, upon our memories and our hopes. May your God, our God, the only God, bless and keep you, guard and guide you, inspire and enable you. And may that God keep us all together, knowing that we are Carthaginians. Amen.